G'day guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a skinning tutorial for Assetto Corsa, or at least how I sort of make them myself in Assetto Corsa. Because I say that because I'm not, I'm not the greatest skinner out there, but I do enough to get the job done, and I think they turn out alright. So to get this underway, you're going to need a few programs firstly. So firstly, you're going to need Photoshop, obviously. Or some equivalent program. I just use Photoshop because it's the one I'm most familiar with. Secondly, we're going to need to go to Google here, and you're going to want to search for Intel TextureWorks plugin for Photoshop. And then we're going to go down to, there should be one here. Yep, so GitHub. So go into this one, new tab. And you're going to want to download the zip. And so once you download that zip, it'll come down to your file explorer and it will be under here somewhere. Intel TextureWorks 1.04.zip. Just take that to your desktop and then follow the instructions on how to install it for Photoshop. Alrighty. So now why don't we get underway. So when I'm starting a new skin, what I like to do is, so we're going to be working on the Holden ZB Commodore. Rightio, so I've just dragged that over here. So what I like to do to start is go down to where I'm working. So we're going to open the ZB Commodore file, skins, and what I like to do is I just like to copy a car that's already in the game. So we're just going to copy this one here, for example. So 2019-22 round 1. So Control C, Control V to copy and paste. And then I'm going to rename it. Now, I should probably say what we're actually going to be skinning first. So if we go to the Supercars website and their teams, open this one up, and we're going to be doing this DeWalt one. What one should we do? Let's do the Mobile 1 car. So we're going to open this Walkinshaw and Treaty United one. Internet's going to load. Radio, here we are. And we're going to be doing Chaz Most's car, number 25. Going to open this one up in a new tab. So we're going to be doing this car here. So I'm going to open my folder back up where I copied it. And I'm just going to be basically calling it the team name, and I'm going to label it sort of similar to all these ones. So I'm going to copy that, and what's it called? So it is Mobile 1 Appliances Online. So Mobile 1 Appliances Online 25. It's going to go down the bottom. We're going to open that, and you can see these files are exactly the same as the one we copied from. So next, normally I just alter the UI JSON. So I mean, this only takes 2 minutes. So it's Chaz Mostert. Copy the name. Australia. Mobile 1 Appliances Online, number 25. Rightio, so that UI is done. Alright, now next, let's just jump straight into the, so I'm going to do the livery icon here now. So for this, I mean, you can just jump on the Supercars website here, open this image in a new tab, save image as. We're going to go into cars, find the Supercars ZB skins, go down to where that one was, and save over that. Alright, so that's all good. Yep, that one's downloaded. So if we go to the folder, that's the livery icon now. Next, going to jump into the windows. So the windows, we can see they've got the, so he's number 25, mossed it. That's pretty much all we need to know. So I'm going to go onto my desktop here actually. Desktop. I'm going to find my folder here. Assetto Corsa custom skins, V8 supercars, ZB Commodore, ZB templates, and then window. And I'm also going to go into this one here, where our thing is, and open this DDS file once Photoshop opens. So this is a PSD file here. Just gonna Control 0 to fill the window, and actually that's not what I'm after. My apologies. I'm just gonna close that. Go into my Alright, so this is what I'm looking for here. So I've got window templates for all the ZB and whatnot, all the cars. So I'm going to open this one. This gives me a template. You can see I've already got numbers here as text files. So I can change this to 25, 25, 25, 25. And I should also mention the size you want for this one. For your image size. You want it to be 2048 by 2048. That's the size the windows come in. Also going to change the name here to Mostert. Alright, and then we want to open the Windows ZB file DDS. Okay, and make this one full screen as well. And basically, we're going to erase all the name and numbers that are already here. But firstly, we're going to copy the purple background and numbers and names we've just changed here. So I'm going to click the topmost layer. Scroll down to the bottom, shift click the purple layer, that'll select all of them, and then control click layer 0 to deselect it, right click, duplicate, and duplicate to zbwindows.dds. That'll open it up in here. Just simply drag layer 0 above layer 1. You can see here that's sort of changed up for us. And then you just select the eraser tool, select it to an appropriate size. I'm going to select it to 100 pixels. And then just delete all the pre-existing numbers and names. So go ahead and do that. For the headlight covers here, you can see they're using the Amino Wines headlight covers, so we don't need to change that. However, you can see on the back window here, they're using the Silverado 1500 sticker. So we're going to have to change that from the Mega one. So I'm going to go back to Google, type in Silverado 1500. If we can go images, we could probably scroll down and find it somewhere. If we can't, that's alright. Because you can always come back to it. We don't need to do this right away. Let's just go banner. It's wishful thinking, but yes, that's not exactly coming up. You know what? We'll pass on that one for now. We can always come back to it. It's an easy fix. Like it's just a case of finding the Chevy text, getting their icon, and then Bob's your uncle, we're there. So we'll just save this one for now. We can keep the Mega icon. To change the numbers and names color, I'm gonna just go over here. Gonna use the eyedropper tool. Where is that one over here? Eyedropper tool, and we're just gonna drop the yellow of the number, and the code here is CBFF00, and also gonna drop the white, which isn't actually white. It's actually yes it is. I like to use F7, FB, F7. It's more of a grey color. So that's F7, FB, F7. Go back over to our ZB Windows. Select all the names. So it's the two there. change them to white, or F7, FB, F7. So Mostert, it's all spelt right. And then shift click all the numbers and make them the yellow. That's CBFF00. And that's our windows done, barred the mega. So we're just going to deselect the purple, Control S, and this is where your Intel TextureWorks comes up. I should have mentioned earlier at the start, my apologies. To check that you've got the Intel TextureWorks working, just open any file, press Save As, and if you have the Intel TextureWorks.dds option to save, that means you've done it correctly. So we can go ahead and save this one. These are the settings you want to use if you're saving DDS files. You want color and alpha, BC3, 8B PP linear, and none for mipmaps. We can save that. And this is where you can open up Content Manager. And if we go over to ZB Commodore, so is this the file? No, that's not the file we copied. So here's 25, you can see that's the livery icon we changed. Now you can see the preview still looks the same. It's because we haven't started on the actual skin yet. We can open Showroom. Just hide this out of the way. If we maximize this, you can see now it's changed the windows. We got 25 Mostert, still got the mega there, that could be changed. But yeah, the 25 and Mostert is all there now, and the amino wines. So that is our windows done. So we can leave this window open, this Content Manager window open for now. I'm gonna go back to here, close the windows since we don't need them anymore. And next we want to get started on the actual skin. So this is where we're going to go into here, and actually before we open this, we're going to go back to my AC desktop screen, custom skins, Viet Supercars, ZB, PSD templates, and we're going to copy this Viet Corsa Holden ZB, Control C. Go to our skin folder, Control V, and I should say, if you want to use the Photoshop in live time and see what you're working with, you'll see what I mean in a sec, you need to make sure the skin editing mode is checked. So make sure that's checked, and then we'll be good to go. Go back to your, go back to your folder where you're working on the skin, and you'll have to change the name of this PSD file to the same as the DDS file. So you can do that by single clicking to rename it, Control C on that name, click on the PSD file, Control V, now they're the same, and you should see in the background the car will change to white. So that's how you know it's worked. If it hasn't worked, you either haven't checked this or you've misspelt the name or something like that. Alright, so now we can go into open that Photoshop document, and it should bring up a wire, AO, parts, and layer 0. It's just like a red. The parts is the rear window where the sponsor stickers are, and the B pillar. So we can just leave that unchecked for now. And when you download the files, you won't see all these spoiler, bonnet, roof, back, front, right side, left side folders. I've created them and saved them myself, but I can always drop them if you message me on Discord. So where should we start, I guess, you might ask? Well, we can start on the bonnet. Bonnet's generally where I start. It's a quick and easy thing to do. There's generally only one big sponsor in the middle, and it's normally pretty quick and easy. So we can see the base is white. Now, the base is already white on here, but I like to go over it in white just to be safe. So we're going to zoom in using Control and plus on our keyboard, and then Control and mouse scroll wheel to move left and right. And this is where you can go free willy on how you do this. So you can see the wire here. That is the active zone on the car. Anything outside the wire, so here for example, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse, but it's just outside of the wire. So if I was to paint out here, I'll just grab a paintbrush for example. I'll make sure you have the AO activated, I should say. If I paint just outside here and save that, and you go onto the car in Content Manager, you'll notice that there's actually no paint. That's because the zone we just painted in is outside the active zone, so we'll just Control Alt Z to undo that. But if we paint in the active zone here and save that, you'll see it pop up over here. So anything you do inside the active zone is will take effect. And so the way you can do this basically, so we're going to do the bonnet first, I mentioned. So you can select the magic wand tool and just select on the bonnet, and it should select all of the active zone here. Make sure you select these bonnet rings as well. And then basically what I like to do, Control J to make a new layer copy, double click on the layer, color overlay, and make it white. Now it might not look like much changed, but we basically just made it the same white. There's no sort of shadows or anything going on. If we go back into CM, you won't notice any change really. But yeah, and I'm going to rename this layer from layer 1 to bonnet white. I'm also just going to create a new group folder called paint layers, and we're just going to drop that in there. Rightio. So if we go back onto the AO file, open up this, you can see there are blue stripes down the side here. Now to get the blue that's here, you can water drop them, but you can see the reflections might mess with it. So you can sort of find something that is similarly colored. So if we look on here, the blue, sort of like the Napa Auto Parts blue. So yeah, we might just do that actually. Let's go to Napa Auto Parts logo. Now I'm going to water drop this, so we can basically just copy image, open up Photoshop, new layer, copy that, and then get the eyedropper tool and drop that. So we now have the blue there. That seems like a close enough blue to the one on the website, so we can delete that Napa Auto Parts logo now. And we're going to use the, this is the polygonal lasso tool. And we're just going to go follow some of these lines until they sort of line up to how they are on the website here. So we can sort of see it's in line with the A pillar here. So we're just sort of going to follow that one down, I think. See how that one looks. I should also say, if you want to chuck on like some Spotify or something in the background, just to, you know, sort of, because you can spend, you know, quite a while skinning, so you might just want to have something playing in the background, just on nice and quiet. Yeah, so, and also my headphones turn off automatically if there's no sound playing for 15 minutes, so I need something to keep them active. Alright, so back to the A pillar. If we go into CM, we can sort of zoom in and follow the lines, see which line we need to be following. Alright, so we can see that the A pillar here is following this line, and it looks like it's about the third major line. There's a big gap there. So just use logical thinking here to see that, okay, this is the line we're going to be following. So if we zoom in on that, and start from the top, basically just follow the outline. You could just, and you want to sort of, you might not want to follow these verbatim because they can look jagged. Just sort of make it seem smooth. So we're just going to follow on the line here, just for simplicity. Doesn't have to be Picasso. Like, you know, you can be a little bit messy, but make sure that, you know, the lines aren't too jagged or anything. Alright, then we're just going to follow around the outside here. You'll get very familiar with the polygonal lasso tool. It's legit like 90% of the tool you use while skinning. We're going to Control J to take to a new layer, double click, color overlay, and change to that blue that we dropped a few minutes ago. Now you'll see it might not show up. It's because our bonnet white is above it. You need to just drop it in above that, and you can see it's changed. If we save that, jump into CM, and yep, so that's sort of what we were after. If we go back to the car here, yeah, it's sort of looking like it. So we might want to bring it downwards a bit more this way. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring it out to this line here. So I'm just going to go back into here, Control Z. Going to go back onto the AO, and we're just going to follow this line here instead. Alright, so we're going to Control J on that AO again, double click on it, color overlay blue, drop it above the bonnet. Save, back to CM, and yeah, that looks a little bit better. Alright, so that's our stripe on the right side done. Whoops, it's Steam. Close that. So if we want to copy this to the other side to mirror it, we're just going to right click on layer 1, duplicate, layer 1 copy, that'll do. Control T to select the transform tool, right click, flip vertical, and then we're basically just going to line it up on the other side. Oh, Photoshop freezing there for a sec. Okay, what's going on there? Flip vertical, drag it across, and then you just basically line it up on the other side. So we're just going to use the arrow keys just to line it up in there. Yep, looks about right. Okay, and then we're going to Control S, and that should mirror it to the other side. Very nice. If you notice the color is a bit off, you can always change it just by going into Photoshop, double clicking on it, color overlay, and then just changing the blue accordingly. You can use the slider here or on here, or if you know the code exactly, you can just throw it inside there. Okay, so we're just going to cancel that. We're just going to leave the blue for now. We can work the colors out later. Now with the names here, I don't like to leave them as layer 1 because the numbers will get very confusing. So I'm just going to call it bonnet stripe blue left. That is left and right, yep. And then bonnet stripe blue right. Yep. Alright, so we can zoom out a bit now. Now we can see the next phase is there's a small blue stripe on the side here as well. So it's, whoa, yeah, okay. So there are a few tips you can use for stripes. You can come down here and use the line tool. So it's a nice easy way to do it. But you can see that our wire is actually curved, so the line tool is going to do us no good here. So I'm just going to go back to the polygonal lasso tool, follow the stripes on, and we're basically just going to follow under this stripe here, this line here I should say. Looks like it might be about right. It's a little bit lower actually. So we might just follow actually the top of this line here. Alright, so let's just do that one in Photoshop now. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So once again, starting outside the wire, the active zone. And basically, just going to follow this line here. Now the line I should say is probably a few mil wide, so once again inside the active zone, yeah, that seems like an appropriate width. And then you just want to sort of try and keep a consistent width across the whole length. So you can just do this by eye. Yeah, more often than not you'll get it close enough. You know, people aren't going to be inspecting these skins with a microscope. So we're getting a bit wide there actually. Alright, so that's that line done. Just going to join that back up. Make sure you're on the AO layer. Control J to copy. Right, double click, sorry. And to water drop this, it's the same blue as the Appliances Online logo. Oh, I should have seen that for the main blue actually. My mistake. Apologies for that, guys. Appliances Online logo. So we're going to open this one. copy image. Just put on a new layer. So, my apologies guys, this is poor form from me. I'm gonna water drop that and that. Okay, so we can delete the appliances online logo. My god, that's a rookie error on my behalf. Okay, so let's go back to these bonnet stripes here. Color overlay. Alright, now back to this this stripe here. So we're gonna drop this on top of the blue bonnet stripes to see them. Color overlay and the light blue. And there's our stripe. So if we save that, Control S, over to Content Manager, and we see it pop up there. Looks pretty good. If you want to see what it looks like without the mesh, just for a bit more cleaner look, just hide the mesh icon up here. Control S again, go back to Photoshop, there it is. Pretty good. Okay, just gonna go back and make that mesh visible. And we're gonna copy that wire like we did with the blue. Now, to get it the exact distance, you can press Control T on it and just using the arrow keys, count how many times up you have to go till you cross the blue or the wire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's taken us 12 clicks to go over the blue. So we're going to copy this, right click, duplicate, copy, Control T to transform. Drag down, right click, flip vertical. Now we just count 12 clicks until it covers the blue, so we'll just drag it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's just moved up there, so I'll just take it back one. If we hide the mesh, Control S, save. Back to here, and there we go, it's on the other side too. So that's the stripes on our bonnet done pretty much. We can go back, activate the mesh. I'm going to change the names to bonnet. Actually, what was on here? Bonnet stripe sky left. Bonnet stripe sky right. Okay. So now that's all good. Alright, so now we can get onto the logo on the bonnet, which is Mobile 1. Also, I'll show you those engine logos in a sec. My apologies. So we're just going to go to Mobile 1 logo. Now, if we go over here, we see that it's mobile on top, and then the number 1 down the bottom. So you can find that along here. However, if you don't, it's not the end of the world, because that's where we go into editing these ourselves. Okay, so it looks like most of these are just mobile and then 1 on one single line. So we're just going to go back up at the top. Oh, actually, I'm being a silly bugger again. If we go onto Google, and then you can see this is Walkinshaw and Andretti United. Walkinshaw and Andretti United. If you go onto the team's website, if you're mimicking a team, I should say, you can go to their website, and they normally have a partners page. Here, you can see their partners. So they've got a Mobile 1 logo here. Just open that in a new tab, and it usually gives you a somewhat high-res image. That one's not very high-res though. But for all these logos that you might not find high-res images online, you can just copy them from here. But for the case of Mobile 1, we're just going to go and get a high-res one ourselves. Unless they're not going to give us one. You want to try and find a PNG if you can. Actually, none of these, looking very high res. Maybe we'll copy it from here. All of these ones on the website here will be PNG though, so you can usually count on these. So we're going to save that image. Make sure it's to the same folder, and you're going to create a new folder called logos. Open that one up. Just going to call it mobile 1. And then we're going to open it with Photoshop. Extend the crop a little bit. And we're going to use the rectangle select tool, rectangular marquee tool. Just select that mobile 1 there. Control T. And move it underneath. Now it might not be even yet, so we're going to go to crop. Just crop that. And that should snap to the end of the mobile logo. Mobile text, sorry. Go back to our marquee select tool. Actually, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. We're actually going to use the quick select tool here and just select everything inside, including the white background. Control T to transform. And you can see we're actually already on the middle, so that's pretty convenient. If we go back to the car, yeah, so it stretches from about the O to the halfway through the O to halfway through the B. So, yep, so it's actually already appropriately portioned. Yep, I think we can save that now. So, I'm just going to go back to crop. Oh. Control L D to deselect it, crop, and snap to the edge of the 1. There we go. And we're going to Control S to save, close that, and we're going to select the bonnet folder here, new layer, file, place embedded, find the logo, and place. You can see it's a little bit small. You can upscale it. It might look low res, but it sort of fixes itself up. So if we place it in the middle there, you can see it sort of fixes itself up to be not completely trash resolution. Center it, enter, Control S, and there's our mobile 1 logo. I'm going to go and deselect that wire just to see a clean version of it. Okay, so we can make it a bit bigger, I think. So we use the Shift and Alt key at the same time and drag from the corner to make it larger while holding it in the center. Control S save. That bit better. Make it a little bit bigger. If it does start to get a bit fuzzy around the edges, like we can see it's starting to get a little bit out of focus, you can always go and find a more high resolution one online. I'm just going to keep this one though for the purpose of a quick tutorial. But when I go to actually release the skin, I will make it proper resolution. Okay, so we gone too big there? Just a tad. Yeah, just a tad. We need to move it down a bit. Move down just a tad more. And I think that should be enough. Actually, it's sort of in line with the bonnet, so we're going to move it down. Let's think 4 clicks maybe. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that, I think. 1 more click. Alright, there we go. I'm going to leave it at that for the mobile one. So if we go up to here, that's pretty much the bonnet done, I think. Yep, bar the engine logos, of course. We'll get to those in a sec. Let me see if I go into CM, have I actually got any cars that already have it? So I want to find what the white bonnet, so I'm going to open this folder here. Open the DDS. This is 1K, isn't it? Okay, scratch that idea. That's a 1K, so I'm not going to transfer that. I'm going to go into my AC stuff on desktop. Actually, my mistake. It's in my Assetto Corsa downloads, liveries, Assetto Corsa skin pack. This is on the raw, by the way, I should say. Holden ZB skins. Now, have we got any white skins here? Sorry, this could take a while. Actually, that's the one we're after. Open that DDS. Zoom in a bit. And we're basically going to get the polygonal lasso tool and just select around the engine logos here. That'll create a little lasso there. Unlock this background, Control J to copy. Just going to rename this engine logos. Right click duplicate, and we're going to duplicate it to the PSD, B735 body ZB PSD. And there they are. And that's in the engine logos. Yep, okay. So we can save that. Go to CM. And you'll see, by the way, I should have mentioned this, this logo is still looking quite the same. That's because we haven't updated the DDS file yet, but we'll get to that later. Don't worry about the preview for now. And there's our engine logos, all in the right place and whatnot. Okay, so, and actually, I'm a big Dumbo, and alright, this is me trying to get ahead of myself, but I sort of overlooked the fact that the Mega skin that we copied from already has the Mobile 1 logo there, so, and it will be 4K high res. So what we can do is grab the polygonal lasso tool and just go around the Mobile 1 logo. Oh shit, whoops. Come back. If you copy from a skin that has similar logos, like so it's the same team or something that has the same sponsors, that's a big help because you can copy and paste logos like this one. So we're going to duplicate this, the PSD. I'm going to close that. No. So we get rid of Mobile 1. Okay, so then I'm going to just grab the quick select tool. Oops. And I'm going to select the logo just to make sure it's PNG, so if we do copy stuff, it doesn't sort of interfere with the background there. Control J and delete layer 1. So I'm going to rename this to Mobile 1. Alright, so if we just go over here, save and quickly go over, you'll see the resolution changed quite significant actually. Yes, that's a lot more high res and it's a proper size now. Okay, so that's the bonnet done. You can see this little triangle bit here. That's just a case of finding, where is it? On the bonnet here. So we're going to open the mesh back up. Alright, now. So this is where you use trial and error a bit. So we're going to select the polygonal lasso tool again. Go back down to AO. And then basically we're just gonna try and line up the triangles here. So pretty much follows that line, first big triangle. So this is just where, like I said before, use logic. Just follow the lines a bit. Now, so is this one we think? Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's uncheck the wire, save. Oops. So it's more or less that area. So yeah, we can move that one across a bit. And yeah, here you just use the arrow keys to line it up pretty much. So we're just going to make it a bit taller. Yep, so that's looking pretty good. Yep, I'm satisfied with that. Also, you notice there's a bit of white there above the headlights, so I'll just fix that one up too. So for this, I'm just going to use the paintbrush tool. Make sure the primary is selected. And if you remember in the intro, I said I'm not perfect and I'm just worried about getting it done. It doesn't need to be Picasso. This is why. I just do very dodgy stuff like this. Oh, actually, I'll just deselect that wire. Yep, and that is good enough for me, I think. Nope. Alright, there we go, that should be perfect. Beautiful. Alright, and then we can just sort of select all of this. Actually, we should be able to, so if you hold Control and then click on the layer icon there, you'll see it selected all that. We can just press Control J, Control T to transform, right click, flip horizontal, and then just drag it over. Place it in the general area, and then activate the wire and use your logic to appropriately place it. So we remember it was kind of along that first diagonal line there. So if we just scroll over here. Oh, is that the place? Let's go over to Photoshop, Content Manager, have a look. Yep, so that's all in the right place. So that's the bonnet done. Yeah, you can check that off. Pretty much done. Let's move on to the splitter down here now. So the splitter is entirely blue. So let's just zoom out, Control O. We can see this is our splitter here. I'm just going to go back down to here. Oh, we should rename these first, my mistake. Okay. So let's go bonnet, bumper, transition, blue, left. You'll notice these names get quite long. Doesn't really matter. I'm not too fussed by it. Blue right. Shift click and drop them on top. Okay, save. Always save your work every time you change something. Alright, so onto the splitter now. We've got the AO selected. We can select the wire. Zoom in. And here it fades to black, so we're going to need to use a polygonal lasso tool. Sorry. And select around the edges. Just going to zoom in a little bit more. So be sure to follow along, guys, if you want to do this at the same time as me. And of course, you can pause the video if you need to. Like if I am silent at some parts of this video, it's just because I'm doing this live at the same time as you guys. Alright, set selected. Run the AO. Control J. Rename to splitter.
And on the car, it is blue, the same blue as the rest of them, so we're going to double click,
color overlay, and that blue is selected. So if we now deselect the wire, save, content manager, there we go, that's down there and done. The blue is still a little bit different from the one in the car, so we'll just fix up all the colors afterwards, but at least it's there for now. Alright, we can see the little airbox there is still white, so that's white, so we can leave that. But this trim here, just to the sides, is blue. So, actually I think we'll just do the Morris Finance logo there firstly. So if we go back to our donor skin, we can, let's see if the quick select tool is going to work. I don't think it is. Oh, maybe, no, okay. So we do need to use the polygon lasso tool. And you just want to follow the inside of the outline here. Not the outside, because then you'll get the black. Although there is a little trick to working around that. I'll show you in just a sec. So again, you want to try and get this as cleanly as possible as well, not to get any black. Alright, so that's pretty good. We can Control J on that. Morris Finance. Right click, duplicate, BSD. And move this up to our, I'm gonna put it on the front. Alright, so that's alright, looks like it. So we can save that. And there's our Morris Finance logo on the car. Now, I mentioned a workaround so we didn't get the black on here, okay? So if we just close this file here, Stoner Skin, go back to where it is, we're going to double click it to open it again, and load map, no, okay. Okay, ignore me then. Yeah, no, what I was thinking actually doesn't work in this particular skin. So, that's right, we'll just proceed with where we were. Ignore what I just said for the last minute or so. Okay, so Morris Finance is on the car. That's done. Splitter, done. Check it off the list. Little Oakley stickers in the airbox there. So we can find them on here. They are here. So we can activate the wire again. I'm gonna go down to the AO, polygon lasso tool, and I'm just gonna select the wire around this airbox here. Control J, airbox, double click, color overlay, change to white. So we go back into, yep, so that's made them fully white now. And we're just gonna find an Oakley logo. Yep, so this one looks like it could be alright. Oh, actually, what am I doing? They might have it here. Is Oakley on here? Yep, here we go. Open image in new tab. That'll do. Oakley. So go up to logos on the front. File, place embedded, Oakley. Now you'll see it's white, and obviously white on white isn't going to work, so we just double click on Oakley, color overlay, and make it black. And then we just Control T and free transform to make it fit. So if we save that, actually we'll save it without the wire. Yep, let's put it on there. if we look on the real life car, yeah, it looks about the right size. We'll move it over a little bit. Yep, looks pretty good. And now to see how we center it on either side, we're just going to count how many clicks it takes to get to the left line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so we're just going to duplicate this. Drag it over to the line on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There we go. Save. And now Oakley is on both sides. So that's our front splitter done. Alright, so now we can move to the blue trim on the front bumper. Okay, so we're gonna open up the Photoshop again. So we're working on the front now. I'm gonna start by outlining the whole bumper and making it white, so it's all the same level of white. So just going around the edge. Alright, also I should say we probably want to cut out the headlights here. So we can do that by holding Alt and you'll see a little minus sign pop up. So click, and now we're on our way to removing little bits of white. And holding Alt again, doing the same for the other headlight. And doing the same for where these Oakley air vents are. Alright, now make sure we got the AO selected, Control J, rename this to front bumper. Double click, color overlay, white. Save, and once again, might not look like much has changed, but you notice a slight change in tone, and so that's the way we want. Alright, so now we can get to making the blue. Activate the wire again, and we can basically just follow this line here, I think, just for, you know, make it nice and easy. So, gonna zoom in a little bit. Just gonna click here, we're just gonna follow this line. Nice and easy. Actually, I'm just gonna join it up to the bottom of the airbox intake there. Alright. So that's all done. So on AO, Control J. Once again, we want to be duplicating. Control T. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to make the color overlay dark blue. Move it above front bumper so we can see it. Control T. Sorry, right click. Duplicate, Control T, flip horizontal, and move it across. Anyone try and line it up on either side? Yep, so that looks pretty good. Yep, so it looks pretty good. It's in somewhat similar spot. It's a little bit too high, but we can rectify that by going here, making sure both layers are selected, Control T, and just move them down a few spots, a few clicks. And so it's looking pretty close to real life. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, so now there's another little blue stripe there, light blue stripe. So we'll go back to here. And basically, just gonna, we probably don't need the Y for this part. Go on AO. And just, actually a good way you can do this, follow the line of the blue exactly, of the dark blue I should say, because that'll get you the right level. And then just make it to the spacing of your liking. Yep, so that looks about right. And Control J. I should say we didn't rename those ones before, I'll do that in a sec. So this was front bumper blue left and front bumper blue right. So this was front bumper sky left. Okay, we can double click that, color overlay, light blue, and then we just Control T and move it down until we've got it about where we want it. So does that look right? Let's check. Maybe move it down 2 more clicks. How's that? Much better. Okay. And then again, duplicate. So we're going to change it from left to right. Control T, flip horizontally. Oh, move it above the other side. And is that about equal? Move it right one more. There we go, save. It's on the other side. Alright, so now we're on to Napa Auto Parts. So, here we go back to Google. Napa Auto Parts logo. Is this what we're after? Is it a PNG? No, it's not. Right, let's go to the Walk on Shore website. Now, there they are. However, that is a blue background, so... And if we go to the car, it's actually a blue background. Okay, this could work. Okay, let's see how this works. Save image. Napa. So we'll see how this blue looks on the car actually before we go changing colors, because I might be able to change the colors again here. Right, we're on the front folder, place embedded. And we want to match the angle on here, so we can just do that by grabbing the top here. And it looks to be about 1.5 degrees. We move it into the center. And save. Okay, let's see how that color looks on the car. I'm gonna eyedrop that. Oops. Oop. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna change all the dark blue colors real quick here, see how that looks. So, front bumper is white, front bumper blue left. Airbox was right, splitter was blue. Okay. Alright, bonnet white, stripe blue left. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to make this still look good while, make this tutorial. So it will be quite long. I'm really sorry about that. But that's the perfectionist in me wanting to do stuff right the first time and not having to come back to it. Okay, so we can save that. Content manager. I think that might be the blue raft, it's close enough. It's a little bit darker, but we can work with that for now. And I'm satisfied. Okay. Save. So, oh, actually we need to adjust the size of that Napa Auto Parts. Okay. So it's pretty much up to the sky blue line there. So we're going to zoom back in on it. I'm going to make this Napa left. Going to make this, actually going to check the wire first. Zoom in just one more click. And I'm just going to make it the size. Oh, okay. Come across a little bit of a problem here. Okay, so let me, alright, so in the case here where it actually has blue background, you can see it's actually crossing into the light blue here. I'm just going to use the polygonal lasso tool to go around it. And Control J and delete that original copy there, and that'll make it just a little bit more appropriately sized. Alright, so let's save. Actually, get rid of the wire first. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Yep, that's looking about the right spot. Pretty convenient. So we'll check the wire again. So Napa left. So we'll duplicate this, name it Napa right. And it is, so the edge of the thing is 2 clicks away from the left curve there. So we're gonna rotate this -3, because remember we made 1.5 on the other side. So 3 will double that. Go over here. 1, 2. Alright, so that's our front bumper. Oh, sorry, we've still got 2 logos to go actually, or a few logos rather. So we've got core stuff, appliances online to go. So go back over to the Walkinshaw page, core staff logo. We can save as core staff. Go back to Photoshop, activate the wire. And we can place embedded core staff logo. Let's see where that gets us. Alright, so we need to move it over a little bit. goes over this part here, so we're just going to make it a little bit bigger as well. Hide the wire save. And that's looking pretty good now. Okay. Close Steam. So if we open the wire, open core stuff, it seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So core stuff left, by the way. Duplicate, core stuff right. One, two, three, four, 5. Was 5, right? Believe so. Yep. So we can save that minus the wire. And that's that. And the last one we're after is appliances online. You can see on the front there. So to Walkinshaw, appliances online. Actually, it doesn't have the legendary surface thing after it though. So we can save image. How big is it? Still pretty small. So we can go over to here actually and search appliances online logo. And that's a nice big full-size image. Appliances online. Wire. File, place embedded. Appliances online. Just make it more appropriately sized. And we need to get rid of this legendary service here. So if you grab the eraser and try and erase it, it'll tell you that you can't do it. You need to rasterize it. So we right click on the layer, rasterize image, and we can then erase this legendary service text. Okay. Center it. And then it's just about fitting it all in there. So how's that going to look on the car? We can make it a little bit bigger. Alright, how does that look? Pretty schmick. Maybe a tad bigger. Alright, I think that's it for the appliances online. And that's it for the front. So we'll take a quick time out here. What you can do now is get the car here on the Supercars website and sort of line it up with your content manager car and see they actually look pretty similar on the front at least. We still have to do the grille actually. I should have done that. So yeah, we can quickly do that now. Photoshop. So this is the grille here we're after. And we basically want to do these, everything in here as black. So we go to the AO, open up the wire, and we can basically just go to town on the grille here. Again, you can always use the magic wand, quick select, whatever you want to call it. Holding shift to select multiple things at once, by the way. But yeah, I just prefer to use the polygonal lasso tool. It saves the changing around all the time, and yeah, sometimes the magic wand tool selects the background as well, which can cause issues on its own. on the AO, Control J, save it as grill, double click, color overlay, black. Save, grill done. Actually, we've still got the things on the front here. Oh, actually, I think I know what that is. Okay. So, you can see we've still got the grill bits on the front here that are grey. So we need to go back to our desktop. All AC stuff on desktop. Assetto Corsa custom skins, be it supercars, at B, templates, and we need to copy the grill file. And alright, so it's, and we need to copy what it says on here. So it needs to be called grill detail, I think. Let's see if this works. Grill underscore detail. Hey, there we go. Okay, so that's confirmed it's worked. So we can open that Photoshop file up. Oh, it even tells you what the name of the grill detail is there. Okay, so let's just hide this map for now. So if we were to save that. Yep. Okay. So we can basically just, it says to paint here. Except I'm just going to not do that. And I should just be able to color overlay these here. No. Yep, save them as black. Let's see if that works. Yep, works pretty well. Although let's just go with this, see how that looks, because that's gotten rid of the reflection. I think. Nope. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. That'll do. Alright. So if we go back to our donor layer here, what does it say on the front? I can't really see. We can get that from other references images, but I'm not going to be doing that right now. I'm actually going to leave it there for now because, well, I've been doing this for, what, an hour now? That's just the front bumper and bonnet. But yeah, that should give you a general idea on how to at least get started on skinning. Next time we'll go into the sides, I guess, and the roof, and I mean, if we knock it out quickly enough, we might even be able to do the whole thing. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll catch you guys later, and yeah, just give this a crack, and I'll catch you around. See ya.